Two people can grow up in the same house, follow similar paths, earn almost the same income, and still end up living completely different financial lives. At 65, one of them wakes up with peace and financial independence. There is no pressure, no urgency, no constant calculation of expenses, investments, or retirement savings. Their passive income supports their lifestyle. Their investment portfolio works for them. They travel when they want, help their family without thinking twice, and never worry about money running out. The other person wakes up with a completely different reality. They still think about monthly expenses, inflation, and how long their retirement savings will last. They hesitate before spending. They depend on limited income sources like Social Security or small savings. Retirement doesn't feel like freedom. It feels like financial survival. What makes this difference so confusing is that it wasn't caused by one big financial mistake or one major investment decision. It didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly, through small financial habits, savings decisions, and lifestyle choices that didn't seem important at the time. And almost all of those decisions happened in one specific decade. Your 40s. Most people don't think of their 40s as financially dangerous. In fact, it feels like the most stable phase of life. Your income is strong, your career is established, and your cash flow feels comfortable. But that comfort is exactly what makes this decade so powerful. Because during this time, your financial decisions stop being temporary. They start shaping your long-term wealth, net worth, and retirement planning. There are three financial forces that make your 40 seconds different from every other decade. The first is peak earning power. For most professionals, income reaches its highest level between 40 and 50 years of experience. Promotions and career growth finally turn into higher salary, bonuses, and better financial opportunities. This means you have the ability to increase your savings rate, build assets, and grow your investment portfolio faster than ever before. But having high income doesn't automatically build wealth. It depends on how you manage it. The second force is time and compounding. At 40, you still have around 20 to 25 years before retirement. That gives your investments enough time to grow through compound interest. A dollar invested in index funds, stocks, or retirement accounts like a 401k or IRA can multiply several times over time. But this advantage declines quickly. At 50, you have less time for compounding. At 55, even less. The same investment made later simply cannot generate the same returns. The third force is expense stability. By your 40s, most of your major financial responsibilities are already established. You have a home, a lifestyle, and predictable expenses. This creates extra cash flow that could be used for investing, wealth building, and long-term financial security. But most people don't use this margin to build assets. They use it to upgrade their lifestyle. And this is where the real financial problem begins. Because instead of increasing investments, people increase spending. A bigger house means a larger mortgage. A better car means higher MS, insurance, and maintenance costs. More expensive vacations increase discretionary spending. None of these decisions feel wrong. In fact, they feel like rewards for success. But every upgrade comes with an opportunity cost. That extra $1,500 or $2,000 per month doesn't just disappear. If invested in diversified investments like index funds or ETFs with an average return, it could grow into hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million over time. The decision that feels small today quietly reduces your future net worth and financial independence. And the most surprising part is that these lifestyle upgrades don't create long-term happiness. What feels exciting today becomes normal within a short period. But the financial burden, higher expenses, lower savings, and reduced investments stays for decades. Over time, this creates a financial trap. Your lifestyle rises with your income, and eventually it controls your income. No matter how much you earn, it never feels enough because your expenses grow at the same pace. You are no longer building wealth. You are maintaining a system that depends on continuous income instead of passive income. Now imagine two people in their 40s with the same income, same opportunities, and same starting net worth. One focuses on investing, building assets, and increasing their savings rate. The other focuses on lifestyle upgrades and plans to invest later. At first, there is no visible difference. Their lives look almost identical, but beneath the surface, something very different is happening. One person is building long-term wealth through investments, compounding, and disciplined financial planning. The other is building financial pressure through higher expenses and lower savings. And over time, this difference becomes impossible to ignore. By the time they reach their 50s, the gap becomes clear. The person who invested consistently has built a strong investment portfolio. Their money is generating returns. Their assets are growing. The other person tries to catch up by saving aggressively, but the math is no longer in their favor. Because time, compounding, and early investing cannot be replaced. This is one of the most important financial truths. You cannot catch up on compound interest. You can increase your income. You can reduce expenses, but you cannot go back and give your investments more time to grow. Another major reason this decade is so dangerous is social pressure and lifestyle comparison. In your 40s, you see others upgrading their homes, cars, and lifestyles. It creates a psychological pressure to match that standard. But what you see is only consumption, not their actual financial situation. You don't see their debt, their liabilities, or their lack of savings. This leads to one of the biggest financial mistakes: spending to maintain an image instead of building real wealth. And this has no limit. There will always be someone earning more, spending more, and living bigger. If your financial decisions are based on comparison, you will never feel financially secure. The people who achieve financial independence think differently. They don't focus on showing wealth. They focus on building it. They convert income into investments, investments into passive income, and passive income into freedom. Because in the end, this is not just about money. It is about financial freedom and control over your life. The ability to choose how you spend your time, when you work, and how you live without financial stress. If you are in your 20s or 30s, this is your advantage. Build strong financial habits early. Focus on saving, investing, and avoiding unnecessary debt. If you are entering your 40s, this is your most important financial decade. Increase your investments, control lifestyle inflation, and focus on long-term wealth creation. And if you are already past your 40s, focus on maximizing your remaining time. Increase your savings rate, optimize your investments, and reduce unnecessary expenses. Because in the end, your financial future will not be defined by one big investment or one big decision. It will be defined by small financial habits repeated consistently over time. One day, you will look back and realize that your financial life, your net worth, and your retirement were not created in a single moment. They were built slowly, through discipline, patience, and consistent investing. Your 40s will pass no matter what you do. The only question is, will they build your financial freedom or take it away?